tickets from any major league game, you still need an ID.
Of course.
To do that.
Delta Airlines, same thing, and you do need an ID to fly.
I do love people that saying, this is voter suppression. You're right. That's because minorities don't get on planes, don't go to the doctor, don't drive cars, and you know what else requires an ID, Mike? Getting the vaccine requires an ID. They don't just give it to you. You have to give them an ID for that. But whatever. Hey, you know what? I don't care anymore.
I don't love you anymore, America. Sorry.
Yeah. This is great. Speaking of the vaccine, this is
fucking terrifying.
You saw this?
No.
Oh, this is fun. Check this out.
Clear to them that the vaccine is the ticket back to pre-pandemic life. And the window...
Hey, you know what the ticket is to pre-pandemic life? The fucking Constitution. Suck a dick.
The ticket back to pre-pandemic life. And the window to do that is really narrowing. I mean, you were mentioning, Chris, about how all these states are reopening. They're reopening at 100%. And we have a very narrow window to tie reopening policy to vaccination status. Because otherwise, if everything is reopened, then what's the carrot going to be? How are we going to incentivize people to actually get the vaccine? So that's why I think the CDC and the Biden administration needs to come out a lot bolder and say, if you're vaccinated, you can do all these things. Here are all these freedoms that you have. Because otherwise, people are going to go out and enjoy these freedoms anyway.
Oh, no.
Oh, God, the horror.
God forbid.
The horror. Look at all these freedoms you have. The carrot, you're fucking nothing but cattle to these people.
Which people?
Elites.
But, it's so funny, too, because the 24-hour news network is like the greatest tool of propaganda that they've ever had, but it's also like their undoing, because when you let these people just talk, when you let them just fill airtime with their genuine thoughts, it's pretty terrifying.
The things, look, every once in a while, I don't like playing things twice, but I'm playing this again.
Clear to them that the vaccine is the ticket back to pre-pandemic life. And the window to do that is really narrowing. I mean, you were mentioning, Chris, about how all these states are reopening. They're reopening at 100%. And we have a very narrow window to tie reopening policy to vaccination status. Because otherwise, if everything is reopened, then what's the carrot going to be? How are we going to incentivize people to actually get the vaccine? So that's why I think the CDC and the Biden administration needs to come out a lot bolder and say, if you're vaccinated, you can do all these things. Here are all these freedoms that you have. Because otherwise, people are going to go out and enjoy these freedoms anyway.
Also, maybe get a woman with less of an Asian accent.
Yeah.
To tell me why I can't live my life because of an Asian pandemic.
All of these freedom, look, man,
they really think they give it to you. They really think that they give it to you. They give you what they believe you're entitled to. It's insane. They think your freedom comes from them.
They do. They believe they hold your freedom in their hands. It's you. Let me tell you something. You're free. You should be free as a human being to do whatever the fuck you want. At the beginning of this, and I remember you and I covered this at the beginning of this, we got a lot of shit too. When we were saying, like, we shouldn't be locking down. And there's a lot of people that have apologized. I mean, you guys were right. This was bullshit. But remember, there was even our fans, people that are freedom people, libertarian leaning, they were like saying, like, no, man, this is serious. We need a lockdown, okay? We need a lockdown. Don't worry. It's a couple weeks. Sorry, I don't want my grandma to die. This isn't about your grandma dying anymore. This is exactly what Mersh and I were saying, and you go back and listen to it. We're saying at the very beginning of this, we were saying, they're going to take your freedoms away, and they're not going to give them back, and they're not going to give them back. Because the carrot, I'm not a horse, you dumb bitch. Fuck you.
Yeah, bitch, you look more like a horse than I do.
Yeah. The fucking, these fucking people, they take everything from you, and then they sell it back to you with interest. That's what they did. They took your freedoms away, and now they've raised the price on them, which freedoms, it's in the name, they should be free, are now coming back to you, and they're selling it to you at a fucking price and saying, here you go, you want it? Take this shot. And they fucking hate states like Florida and like fucking Texas and South Dakota that said, fuck you, we're opening. DeSantis came out again and doubled down and saying, I am going to have an executive order saying that there will be no vaccine passports and businesses are not allowed to check your vaccine status for you to be able to use their services. And all these people that were like saying, oh, government should mandate businesses to make you wear a mask, saying like, oh, excuse me, private businesses shouldn't be mandated. They fucking should. And you want to know why they should? Because there's fucking HIPAA laws. That there are laws that say businesses cannot ask you your medical status on anything to provide you services. So if you want to bake the cake, bigot, then give my unvaccinated ass whatever I want if I'm giving you money. Pick a fucking lane. You can't have it both ways. But they're getting bold and they're going on CNN. And you could even tell that Cuomo over here, like, I don't like Cuomo, but you could even tell that his face is like, you're saying the quiet part out loud. What are you doing? You don't say that shit out loud, you fucking nut job. These fucking people, the carrot, that's what they think of you.
And I love that she's doing it. I love that she's this outraged and disgusted. It shows to express it on the show of the guy that had COVID and was still just like going out. Just completely.
Look, here's some little freedoms you could have if you get vaccinated.
The guy
The
guy whose show you on had COVID and was out talking to his neighbors.
Yeah, fighting, not talking.
Fighting with
wanting to
his
fist fight his neighbors. So fuck these people, man. Honestly, fuck these people.